that. Please stay with us as we come back to you. Now we focus on to North America. The U.S. Justice Department has revealed that it has 5.2 million pages of Epstein files left to review and needs 400 lawyers from 4 different department offices to help with the process through late January. This is likely to extend the final release of the documents to much later than expected after a December 19 deadline set by the Congress earlier. U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has ordered the Justice Department to release the files tied to criminal probes of Jeffrey Epstein, the late financier and convicted sex offender, who was friends with Trump in the 1990s in compliance with the transparency law passed by the Congress last month. Now for this discussion, we welcome back Ms. Alison Mutler from Bucharest. Thank you very much, Ms. Mutler, for staying with us. Now looking at this, how do you think this further delay, not just one delay, but again a delay, will be affecting? And what do you think, U.S. government should have kept in mind before promising the public of the release date and etc.?
Well, it's rather a mess, but it's also very complicated. As you said, there's 5.2 million files. That's an enormous amount, and the administration already said they need 400 lawyers, and I think they will have to review 1,000 documents a day. Now that's a lot of work. So it is a political problem. It became a political problem, which is why Trump had to, in the end, had to agree to the release of the files. But we weren't talking about a few hundred files. We're talking millions of files, and not just millions of files. These are on potentially some of the revelations that will come out will be shocking. It will affect very important people, politicians, business people, etc. Maybe even actors. We don't know. The former Prince Andrew has been in the files. So I think there's a lot of trepidation and concern and fear. And there was a report that Donald Trump yelled at Marjorie Greene, who's leaving Congress, "You're going to embarrass my friends." So I think there is a lot of concern, but also I think the administration, particularly the Department of Justice, wants to be seen to be doing this task properly, and they can't just rush it through in a couple of days because it'll be superficial and the files won't be viewed. So it is a setback, but on the other hand, I think when we're talking about this huge number of files, it's quite understandable that it can't be just done in a couple of days, and the deadline will be pushed back into probably mid-January or even later.
Yeah, right. And don't you think that these the U.S. DOJ, do you think they didn't know that there are 5.2 million pages of Epstein files? Or is it just that they just found out that, oh, there are much more than we assumed or we thought?
Well, very good question. It's hard to say what they know and what they don't know. And also a lot of files were kept. But this is the reality, and I think the fact that we are being informed, I think it was just this morning, that there are 5.2 million files shows an attempt by the Department of Justice at transparency, and they're saying we're not hiding anything. We have a huge number of files and we need 400 lawyers for this job, and it will take us probably weeks more. So I think I'm sure people in the Department of Justice knew there were more than 5 million files still that hadn't been opened and revealed to the public. Politicians probably, there was some information known about it, and this is very embarrassing for the administration, but they are trying to be as transparent as possible. I think probably the top level did know that there was a huge number of files, and I think people in the Department of Justice did, but the general public didn't, and probably ordinary members of Congress didn't know either. There may have been rumors. I don't know.
Yes, thank you for highlighting that. And lastly, Ms. Mutler, now, as we know that last time also it was delayed, and then when the files came out, some people were disappointed because a lot of them, it was smudged or blacked out, and then some pictures which were revealed were already in public, not new to the eyes. So, do you think public is still trusting this process, and how could this further delay of Epstein file affect the public trust in U.S. Justice Department and perceptions of, once again, transparency?
I think that you're right that the people that release the files control the information, and I think there is a problem with public trust, that they won't trust what they see, or they will say it will be selectively released, selectively made public. So yes, I think that there are concerns, and I think perhaps they're saying there's 5 million. It's an attempt to make the public trust the process more. But let's see what the files reveal. But I think that public trust is a key issue here. I think the administration is trying to overcome it. Let's see what they do. But yes, I mean, Donald Trump has been reported to want to defend his friends, and it's unclear how much he can control that, or people around in his circle can control that. But we'll see when the files are released whether it's more transparent this time. I mean, they say they need to smudge the names out, black the names out, conceal them, because they're protecting victims, people who have been abused. But that's not, I don't think people are buying that line. They're thinking that people who are important and high up and connected to Trump are being protected.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for highlighting that and sharing that insight with us, Ms. Smuggler. Thank you very much.